Listen to me now, Chiefs Kingdom. Arrowhead Stadium is not just a patch of grass in the heart of Missouri. It is the hallowed ground of the Red Sea. It is where the Hunt family's vision of excellence was forged in the fire of the 60s, where Len Dawson's cool hand guided us to glory, and where the 2026 sun now sets on a season that has tested our very marrow. We stand at a precipice. The Standard in Kansas City is a dynasty, but greatness is fragile. We saw it this year, a 6-11 record that has left us staring at the 9th overall pick, a sobering reality that hasn't touched one Arrowhead drive in a decade. We saw our general, Patrick Mahomes, go down with a season-ending ACL injury in Week 15 against the Chargers, and the vacuum left behind was deafening. But as we look toward the 2026 rebirth, the tectonic plates are shifting under the feet of another Hall of Fame legend. We are holding our collective breath as the GOAT, Travis Kelce, contemplates his future. This isn't just about a jersey, it's about the heartbeat of the kingdom. If the 87 walks away, the Red Sea must find a new shore, and the first bricks of that seawall are being laid today. But before we go into the lab and break down the tape of this roster revolution, you need to join the Kingdom ranks. Subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, and let your voice be heard in the comments. Is the Kingdom still the gold standard, or is the throne sliding into the abyss? I'm reading every single one of your takes, because in this kingdom, the fans are the crown. Chalkboard time! The move is official. On Monday morning, as practice squad contracts for non-playoff teams expired, Brett Veach didn't just sit on his hands. The Chiefs have re-signed Trey Watson to a reserve future contract. Watson, the 6'5", 250-pound Titan out of Texas A&M, spent his entire rookie campaign grinding on the scout team. He's 23 years old, raw as East Texas limestone, but possesses the physical profile that Tom Melvin and Andy Reid crave. This is the first move toward a potential post-Kelce reality. Kelce said it himself on New Heights. He needs a few weeks to be a regular human before deciding on year 14. He's weighing his physical assessment against the siren song of a CBS analyst role or a life in the spotlight with Taylor Swift. But the front office, they don't have the luxury of being human. They have to be sharks. Look at the tight end room if the legend retires. It is young. It is inexperienced. Veteran Noah Gray would inherit the throne. Gray is 26, a fifth-year pro with 83 games under his belt. He had a career year in 2024 with 437 yards, but in the 2025 slog, his numbers dipped to 178 yards and 0 touchdowns as the offense sputtered. He is a reliable piece, but he is a different animal than Kelce. Behind him, a gauntlet of what-ifs. You have Jared Wiley, the 6'6" giant out of TCU, the 2024 fourth-rounder who was supposed to be the heir apparent before a non-contact ACL tear in practice last November derailed his trajectory. Wiley has only played 5 games in 2025, recording a single catch for 4 yards. He's 25, he's tall, and he's healthy now. But can he fill the void? Then there's Jake Brenningstool, the Clemson standout who spent his entire rookie year on IR with a hamstring injury that refused to heal. Brenningstool was a fan favorite in camp, a 6'6" athlete with an innate ability to find space in the seam, reminiscent of number 87, but he hasn't seen a single regular season snap. And let's not forget the Robert Tonyan experiment. The veteran was a ghost in 2025. 1 catch for 1 yard in 17 games. That experiment is over. Tonyan is a free agent, and the door at One Arrowhead Drive is closing behind him. The youth movement is the only way forward. I'm hearing whispers from One Arrowhead Drive. One unnamed AFC West executive told me, Veach is terrified of a vacuum. If Kelce leaves, they don't just lose a patch catcher, they lose the defensive adjuster.
No one in the league manipulates a cover 2 shell like Travis. A source inside the facility whispered, Watson was the hardest worker on the scout team. He's not Travis, but he's got that dog in him that Spagnuolo loves on the other side of the ball. And another league source was even blunter. The Chiefs' offense without Mahomes in those final 3 games was the worst in the league. If Kelce retires too, they are rebuilding a skyscraper from the basement up. Biographical deep dive. Trey Watson has that Chiefs DNA, the same undrafted grit we saw from players who became Arrowhead legends. Born in Rio Rancho, New Mexico, Watson was a wide receiver and basketball guard in high school before bulking up to a 250-pound blocking and receiving hybrid. He caught 38 passes for 378 yards and 4 scores at Fresno State before transferring to Texas A&M. He has the 35-inch vertical and 10-foot broad jump that scream elite athleticism. Think about the way he uses his frame. At 6'5", he has the catch radius to be a nightmare in 12 personnel mismatch strategies. When Mahomes, our visionary leader who will be rehabbing that ACL with the intensity of 1,000 suns, looks over the middle, he needs a target that can box out a linebacker like Priest Holmes used to box out defenders in the flat. Watson's tape shows a guy who can survive the grit of the trenches, but still peel off for a red zone strike. He isn't Kelce yet, but the physical mold is a carbon copy. Now, let's talk X's and O's, rapid fire. Without Kelce, Andy Reid's RPO constraints change entirely. Kelce's option route nuances are the grease in the gears of this offense. His ability to find the soft spot in a zone is a sixth sense. If we transition to Noah Gray as tight end 1, expect more 13 personnel looks to compensate for the loss of elite one-on-one separation. We need Gray and Wiley to execute the high-low concepts that stretch the 2026 defensive shells. We saw Tonyan struggle because he couldn't generate the simulated pressure on the safeties that Kelce does just by existing. If Brenningstool is healthy, he becomes the move tight end, the twitchy, game-breaking speed player who can mimic Xavier Worthy's verticality from an inline position. This is a somber hour, Kingdom. The prospect of Kelce walking away, combined with Mahomes' long road to recovery, is a heavy weight for a city used to Super Bowl parades. But the Lamar Hunt legacy was built on the next man up mentality. We don't just fold the tents because the wind blows hard in the AFC West. We reinforce the stakes. Whether it's Patrick Mahomes finding a new vision with a rebuilt knee, or Chris Jones wreaking interior devastation to buy the offense time, the standard of the Kingdom does not slump. We re-signed Trey Watson because the future waits for no one. We are looking at a 2026 season where every snap is a battle for the throne we've held for so long. Trey Watson, Noah Gray, Jared Wiley, Jake Brenningstool. These are the names that will decide the fate of the tight end position in Kansas City. They have a combined 95 games and 126